Okay, just setting up everything. Looks like everything's good. Making sure the chats are on. I should be able to see the YouTube and Twitch chat on Restream, but I have to make sure I can see Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, which just reminds me I need to grab one more device. Oh no, I turned off something. Oh no. Okay, I'll be right back. I just gotta grab one more thing my husband stole and never came back. So, just give me a minute. Hello. Greg has a bad habit of stealing my stuff and never bringing it back. Okay, I'm back. Okay. So I gotta grab my other tablet so I can see TikTok, because I can't see TikTok for some reason, for their comments. Follow me. I'm following myself on a second account so I can actually see what's going on. Oh, no. We do not want echoes. No echoes allowed. Okay, sorry about that. I wasn't prepared because I forgot my husband stole my stuff. It's all his fault. No, I love him. He's great. I'm going to quickly show you some stuff on the app. So we're just going to study the app for a second. So this is what you'll see. I got to turn off the TV here. Sorry. I forgot to do one more thing. And that's streaming to my TV so I can see it better, easier, less straining on my neck. Okay, so this is the app. This is what it looks like for today. What you're going to do, especially when you're already started a project, is you're going to go into projects with like the little bookmark in the bottom and in the middle. Click on that. You choose the one that you're working on. So it's this one. And with the AR mode, it's already lined up to your drawing. So that's how that works. And we today are going to be finishing this drawing by working on the hands, because we did everything else. We actually might need to do a little bit more on the white parts of the dog just to make it have more depth to it. So yeah, anyways, so with DaVinci Eye, there's a couple of different modes. There's classic mode and then there's AR mode. The AR mode is my favorite because I usually take more than one day to finish a project, and I like to have it like preset so I don't have to play around with it. So the thing that I'm holding is called an anchor. The app will detect its placement and then will also detect if it's tilted or not, so that it can change tilts and it won't distort the image when you draw it. So you can have your drawing surface at an angle or your phone at an angle, and it will just automatically fix to it. So do you tape it down onto your table as well as your drawing surface? You tape it down, or if you're drawing or painting on a canvas, just tape this to the top of your canvas, and then if you're doing fabric, I recommend making a fabric one. To make your own, all you really need to do is take a permanent marker and scribble on a piece of paper that's about the size of a card or bigger, depending on how big your project is. That's how that works. It's pretty cool. There's a few features on there that I like. There's a breakdown mode, which breaks it down by color value. It's great for black and white drawings or paintings or watercolor. But this is a colored piece, so I don't really do that with this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna zoom in. All of these backgrounds, the rest of it's very blurry, so we don't need to have them very sharp lines between any of them. So let's put on the director so that you guys can see a bunch of different things. Okay. Why isn't it working for me? So we're going to compare the colors of the hands to our little swatch that we did earlier to see what colors we need. So I can see coral and burnt ember. Where is it? It's here somewhere. I might have lost my pencils. Or it's sage. Well, we got sage too. I'm just trying to pick out the colors that we might need. And I'm just focusing on the hands because we did everything else already. So this might take a little bit of time to set up. Where could that color be? Well, it's on the floor. Why is it on the floor? Some cream colored, some brown. Maybe a dark red. Definitely have some white, some lighter skin tone. Maybe a little darker too. I'm just taking a look at everything. I'm just focusing on the shadows and the highlights, just pick out all the colors. You don't have to pick out all the colors all at once. You can just work on the one section at a time. I think those are pretty much all the colors that we need for this. I'm going to put away the rest. And then another tool we're using is a colorless pencil. I got this from Prismacolor. You can also use hand sanitizer with a Q-tip if you don't have a colorless blender. There's also markers that you can get from Prismacolor too that also does kind of like a blending technique, and it's still got like a solution that's very similar to hand sanitizer. So just so you know. I'm going to organize these from light to dark. There we go, nice and uniform. So we're going to work on one section at a time. I think I might add a little bit of white right here. We're doing a light pressure and circular motions, holding the pencil at the end. So that way we can have a better control with the light for the lighter pressure and also using the side of the pencil. And this all helps kind of with the blending technique. So we can go, we go really soft and then we go outwards with a little less pressure to kind of help with the blending technique. And then to get a really good smooth blend, you are just going to add a bunch of layers to it. So here is the yellow. It's kind of still in the same area. Light pressure and circular motions. I think I might turn the strobe on. So let's go to Tools, Strobe, turn that on, and turn up the opacity to its fullest. That way you can see all the little differences between your drawing and your reference photo, and then you just play spot the difference and change it as you go to make it look like it's almost identical to the drawing. That's if you like to do it this style. So there are some other tools and methods on how to pick colors, and one of which is called Colored Pencil Picker. It's a good start. I used it before, but I stopped using it because I found that just using my own eyes to pick the colors by using my own color swatches is more accurate than using the colored pencil picker. But it does, using the colored pencil picker for a while is does kind of help you see all those undertones a little bit better. So it did help me. Like, I still learned from it, but I grew past it, and that is totally fine. See, art tools, you don't have to lean on them forever. You can decide to wean off of it and learn from it instead of making it your crutch. But at the same time, tracing is not a new thing. It's been around since like forever. Some of our oldest records is actually from, of tracing is from Egypt, where they would actually trace the shadows of the portraits, so the side view of the people that they're sculpting. So light pressure and circular motions, we are slowly building up. We don't have to be perfect in placement, no sharp lines, so just circular motions is really good. So just light pressure for every layer. And then we're adding the colors that we see just in the areas that we see them and kind of blending it outwards, getting lighter pressure as we go outwards to create a nice transition. Try to keep your pencil sharp because that also helps too. This one fell on the floor so it chipped. That makes me kind of upset. light pressure, circular motions, holding the pencil at the end instead of the tip. That way you can use the side of the pencil. So you want to do really tight circular motions. Again, this helps with a nice smooth texture when you're done. So there is a bit of a defined, like a little bit more defined of a line where the paw is, but it's not super sharp of a line. So we can do tiny little circular motions around the paw. Do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to start filming. So I need to do a little bit of filming because separate filming, because I work for the app that I'm currently using. I make advertisements and tutorials. I also teach live on their YouTube channel. So in order for me to get paid outside of selling it, which I don't know if I'll sell it, is through them. More pro video and flip the camera. I'm trying to get a good angle of the app as well as my drawing surface. Okay, and I'm going to unplug my phone to do this because it makes it look like it's a lot cleaner. A lot cleaner. So I am spending about 5 minutes filming, and I'm going to film about every hour. So let me talk about myself. My name's Charity Lowe. I am a portrait artist that works for the Vinci Eye App. It's the app that I'm currently using. I make advertisements and tutorials, and I teach live on their YouTube channel every Friday from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So if you want to learn how to draw like me, then go ahead and do that. Go to those live videos with me on their channel. And I will also give you a promo code where you can try the app for free for a year. And these codes are only for the iOS because currently the Android is free. So yeah, if you want to test it out, now is a good time to do that for the Android, and then you can just contact me for the iOS. But if you aren't an artist and don't feel like wanting to learn how to be an artist, you can commission me to draw a piece for you. I'm more than happy to do so. And I have prices for any budget, even if you have $0 in your wallet. For free art, if you allow me to make it into a live lesson, I can do 11 by 14 inch colored or black and white, 100% free, including shipping. But I can't guarantee exactly when it's going to be done because I only have 2 hours once a week to work on it. So, and then things you need to be aware of with those is that I can't keep it private until like a certain date. To to give it as a gift, a surprise, I won't be able to do that for you. But I'll give you 65% off if you allow me to make it into a advertisement or tutorial, and I can hold off the posting for a later date. So if you were to do it for a gift, it can still be a surprise. And I can also give you a better idea, and it'll be done quicker for getting it done. And then my full prices, the benefits for the full prices, if you want it to be 100% private, never posted on the internet, nothing at all. The prices do reflect how much I get paid by the Vinci Eye App, because all of the commissions I do cuts into the time I have for my day job. So I really do need to get paid the same so I can pay my bills. So yeah, for my commissions, I only do people portraits and pet portraits, but with my lessons and tutorials and everything like that, I do multiple different things. Like I've done wood burning, stained glass painting, quilling, fabric painting, and then I've done multiple different subjects outside of portraits. I've used watercolor, soft pastel, acrylic, pen, marker. I've done a little bit of everything. And if you're here to learn from me, this is a good place for trying out new things and getting some inspiration. So portraits aren't going to be the only thing you see from me here on my personal accounts. I'm going to bring some of that brown into the white of the dog too, just a little bit, not a lot. Okay, actually, let's start building that up a little bit more. Remember, tight circular motions. And then to create a nice blend, a blended effect, make sure you're kind of going outside those areas with a little less pressure. So it's just something you need to learn how to do when working with colored pencils, because they do not blend. They don't blend well. Even if you have like other blending tools. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to take off my mic from my other thing. Even if you use blending tools, it still doesn't make it, it's not super easy to do it. So gotta practice with some stuff. Well, how do you get rid of this? There we go. I accidentally pressed something on my computer. So I'm going to spend about an hour just drawing, because this is a long drawing. I don't need to show a whole bunch for the advertisements and tutorials. So just give me a minute while I get things all back to where they were. So I am putting a little bit more pressure than I was before on these. But still trying to do, like, don't push so hard that you indent the paper. But I also like recommend doing it as light as possible so you can build up those layers, make it look better. Now I do see that there is a minor transition right here in blue. So I'm gonna add that. And then another one in like a pinkish tone. I'm gonna put it right here. And then kind of working backwards now to help with building up those colors a little bit more. So light pressure and circular motions. Doing really tight circular motions. And what I mean by that is they're doing very small. And then we can also kind of create a blending technique by going a little bit softer around those around the area that we were just working on. This hand is very blurry, so this is really good to create that blur effect. There will be a point in time where you cannot do any more layers on it. Like even if, like you can't draw anything over top of it anymore if you continue with it. Like continue trying to add more to it. It will be impossible. So again, light pressure and tight circular motions. Nice soft edges of these objects and the shadows. And then just a lighter pressure just around those areas where we just added all that color. So we can go over those areas we just worked on as well. If you see that it's kind of an undertone to what you already put on, just put it back on. Put it over top of it, if that's where you see it is at, whenever you change the colors. I'm not really feeling like much talking today, especially when it comes to telling you exactly what I'm doing, why I'm doing it to the best of my abilities to do so. I am very tired. I haven't been able to get a good night rest lately, so please forgive me. I'm usually a lot more chatty with like what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I'm trying to preserve that highlight that's on the knuckles. So I'm almost satisfied with the coloring of this. So we're just trying to build up now that we got the right color down, we're slowly trying to build up the vibrancy of it. Okay, now I'm kind of working my way down. Just go back with that. I'm going to do a different kind of blending method that I did for other things. Like I used the colorless pencil for the colored fur, and well, for the dog. I used hand sanitizer with a Q-tip all in the background, and now I'm actually going to use the brightest version of the color in the areas to kind of blend it in. And I'm pushing quite a bit harder at this point, doing circular motions all in that area. So right now I'm just doing the highlights for this. And then I'm going into the next colored sections with the next lightest color, and we're putting it all around where we see that color, just to kind of build it up a bit. I don't know how I'm speaking. My speaking is not happening very well. So quite a bit of pressure while we're doing this. kind of mostly focusing on the reference photo that I printed off more than I'm looking at the app. Because I find that I can see the colors just a little bit better with the printed copy. But for placement, it's really good to look at the app. So we want to put quite a bit of pressure, but not to the point where we're gouging the paper. Still need to work on it. Still need to get it darker and darker and darker and darker. Okay, moving on to the next section, we're going to try to make it look like it's part of the picture by using the same colors. We're going to start off with the lightest color and work our way to the darkest color, and then do vice versa, and then we'll go back to the lightest to darkest, and then, and then just keep working on it and working on it. There's never-ending work to be done. So I'm going to use that white. We're doing very light pressure and circular motions. I'm going to need to get a new white pencil here soon. We're just adding those colors in where we see them. Even if it's the undertone of a different color, we're going to add them. So light pressure, circular motions. I'm holding the pencil at the very end. Water. I'm holding the pencil at the very end. That helps with the controlling the pressure and using the side of the pencil, which all helps with a nice blended look. I need to clean my art room. I will be doing that first thing tomorrow morning. I know you can barely see. The colors that I'm placing down. Just gotta trust the process. It's happening. Just very slowly. So we're slowly starting to build up the shadows. But right now we're mostly focusing on the colors that we see. Just notice there's a little bit of a graphite pencil right there. I just wanted to pick it off. Things you don't... Why does my throat feel so scratchy? I wonder I don't want to talk today. So my throat is so dry and scratchy. Hello. I'm sorry, my throat is very scratchy. Have you been here before, or are you new? Anyway, I'm gonna do something that I consider as rude, but I think it's gonna be the only thing that saves me today. I don't know why my throat's so scratchy. I don't like chewing gum on lives, but I'm doing it today. So my name's Charity Lowe. That's a lot better. I work for the app that I'm currently using and make ads and tutorials for them. And that's what most of my live videos on my personal accounts are going to be. It's just the behind the scenes of how I create these advertisements and tutorials. So I'm just slowly building up the color. Just trying to get the placement of the colors just right. And they don't have to be super rigid. They can be soft, have soft transitions. Kind of went over the wrong spot. Something I like about Polychromos from Faber-Castell, because they do erase a little bit. It can be a total lifesaver. Around the paw is a little bit more defined of a line, but it's still blurry, so it doesn't need to be super rigid for the outlines. You know, I actually can bring up that fur a little bit more. So I'll tell you a bit about what I do for the Vinci Eye app other than the videos that I make for them. I also do like make stencils that you guys can use for free on their app. I also host some challenges and competitions on their Facebook page, and I do one-on-one calls to help you set up your app. There's a bunch of things that I do. I'm in control of the comments on their YouTube channel, the Vinci Eye App YouTube channel. I do the posting, I do the writing of the advertisement and tutorials. I do the voiceovers, I add the music. I don't do the editing, I just film and somebody else does the editing while I do everything else for it. It's a lot of work to get all that done. I also help to choose what reference photos are going to be the photo of the day on their app. You start to see it take form. It took a long time to get to this point, but we're still not even halfway done this point. So we're doing light pressure circular motions. Trying to use the side of the pencil more than the end. That way I'm kind of holding. That's why I'm kind of holding the end of the pencil. Also helps with keeping that light pressure. Can you see some of those whiskers that are being preserved from our indenting the paper earlier? Now we're going to work from our darkest to our lightest. Putting a little bit more pressure in the areas that need it. And to help create kind of like a soft transition, just go a little bit lighter on the edges of where you placed that color. Kind of helps with a nice smooth texture at the end. I'm getting to the point where some of these areas are hard to build up more. Light pressure and circular motions. Okay, now we're going to varnish it by using the lightest color in the areas that we're trying to make more of a solid color. We're trying to fill in the white spots nicely. So we're putting in quite a bit of pressure at this point, not to the point where we are gouging the paper. We're going to try to avoid gouging the paper, but just enough to really push that color right into the paper. You won't be able to overlap or add more after you've done this. So just be prepared. Make sure everything is the right color and shade before you do this. And I've used many different varnishing or finishing techniques I've used for this drawing. For the fur, especially the textured fur, I used a colorless pencil from Prismacolor. For the background, I used hand sanitizer with a Q-tip. And now I'm using colored pencils to do it, to get that finishing touch. Do you see some of those whiskers just being preserved here? They're not being touched. It's because I indented the paper with a empty pen. So I pushed really hard on the paper. Okay, I think I am going to take the colorless blender and just go around the softer edges in circular motions. I think I actually might do this over everything. I think that really helps. After doing all that, just using that colorless blender. I can kind of see that there's like a little darker outline around the chin. So I'm gonna do that. Just kind of make it pop up a little bit more. Okay. That wind is pretty big today. I think it's been the weather lately that's been kind of dragging me a little bit. Oh. I'm starting off with the white, very light pressure and circular motions. So we're going to start off from light to dark, and then dark to light, and then finishing with building up the intensity, the vividness of the colors. So we're trying to do the placement of the colors first, make sure it's all in the right spot, then build it up to a higher intensity, and then finish it off. So focusing on getting the right color, and then focusing on getting the right shade afterwards. Honey, I'm working, sweetheart. Jenya, leave your uncle alone. He'll come out soon. It's slowly coming together. It's really warm in here. It's really windy outside. No, maybe the wind did die down a little bit. I'm gonna open up my window. Get some fresh air. So I need to stop for a minute to film. I won't actually stop drawing. I just need to film for about 5 minutes. So. So my name's Charity Lowe. I am a custom portrait artist, but I actually get most of my income from working for the Vinci Eye App, the people behind the Vinci Eye App. I make tutorials and tutorials and advertisements for them, and I also teach live on their YouTube channel every Friday. Yeah, and these little live videos I do on my personal account is just me at my job. So there's going to be some days where I feel a little bit more teachy and like wanting to let you know exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And then there's other days like today where I'm just in silence. I can't play certain music because I'm on YouTube and they're very picky about that. So, yeah. But I'm more than happy to chat. The thing is, I'm not sure how well I can actually see the chats. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. I can't have all of them open on my computer at once, but I do got most of them, like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And then Restream's supposed to put them all together, but it doesn't. Not all of them, at least. Or maybe I don't know how to do it, but either or. It's not helping me this video, that's for sure. So I can either teach you how to do art or I can draw for you, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. The only types of drawings I do for commission is portrait drawings of people and animals and pencil work. But for teaching, I have a very wide range of things that I can do. And I'm very open to trying new things too. It looks really good on camera. I just want to go back to bed. So we're starting off with lights and we're going to the darks, and then we'll go to dark to light, and then we'll finish it off. I need to start thinking about my next project. Okay, now we're gonna reverse it because we got to the darkest. And we can add a little bit more pressure to some areas. And do light pressure, well, a little bit more pressure than what we were doing before. Circular motions. Really tight circles. We don't need to completely fill it in quite yet. And then also do a lighter pressure, just going all the way around that area. It's noon. Noon. How much more time do I have? About 30 minutes. Because I want to try to be live for about 2 hours. And that wind is starting to pick up again. We are almost ready to move on to finishing this up. Okay, we're going to finish this off by putting quite a bit of pressure of the lightest color or lightest version of the color that we put down. Nails, I'm going to use white. And we're not pushing hard enough to gouge it or anything like that. going to take that colorless pencil again, and I'm going to blend it out. And then we don't have much more to do. Like, I just got to finish the rest of this one hand and then work on the whiskers a little bit more. You only have one finger left to do. From light to dark, dark to light, and then back to light to dark, and finishing off. I'm starting to get very lazy. Sounds like, let me see, there's somebody else who joined on Instagram, so thank you for joining. I'm sorry, I'm very quiet today. I don't feel like repeating myself over and over again. That one is getting pretty bad. That's what happens when you live in southern Alberta. It gets super windy. Okay, let's take a look at it this way. Oh, I'm not quite done yet. I just remembered there's a few little details I still need to do. So I'm going to take that brown. Whiskers are very wonky because I'm not very steady in one direction, but I'm steady in a different direction. Let's see if I can take that off a little bit. Let's try that again. And then I'm going to take a gel pen, make sure it's working. Come on. I'm going to go over those indents that we made just to kind of brighten them up a little bit more. And there are my little details. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in comparison. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Okay, time to say goodbye to that one. And then I'll show you what it looks like. And that's what it looks like when it's done. So I'm take like a permanent marker or like a very fine tip marker or pen, and I do my little signature in the front. It's very messy because I've signed my name so many times in my life as a healthcare aide that I just stopped caring. I need to refine it, make it a better, more professional looking signature eventually. We may not get tornadoes here, but we do get really bad windstorms. And then another thing I like to do is I'll flip it over and still use a permanent marker. Date it. And today is what is the date today? February 26th, 2026. Okay. And then I put by, and then print off my name. And then I sign it one more time. You want to know why I do that? Why I sign the back? It's because I had somebody steal my artwork before, and that's why I use permanent marker, but fine tipped permanent marker, either a Sharpie pen, whatever. So that's what I do. I had somebody who bought artwork from me, and they had removed my signature and replaced it with theirs, so now I do the back as well in permanent marker. Otherwise, they're going to have to trim out the center of the page, which is usually where the main subject is. So, yeah. I don't know what to do with this. This is just for advertisement. So, tell me if I should give it away or like do a random draw for a giveaway or what. For my work. And then I could take a picture of it too. I froze. Why did I freeze? At least I froze on one screen. Okay. Thanks for joining. I'm going to say goodbye. It's almost time for me to leave anyways, and then I got to figure out what I'm doing next. So, yeah. See ya later. I'll be live tomorrow on the Vinci Eye App YouTube channel. Not here. And I will be actually teaching